Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. This is Kevin William with the Office of Youth and Young Adult Ministry. Mission is to love and serve young people. It's your 2-Minute Tuesday on November 23rd. Well, NCYC 2021 is in the books. We had a fantastic time. The speakers are great. The music was good. There were some fantastic sessions and all of that sort of stuff. Some of the highlights, especially for our group, was sitting on the floor level for Eucharistic Adoration during Friday night was just awesome. And for me, I think one of the biggest signs of success for this event was seeing our young people experience the Holy Spirit and our church in a really profound way. Just one example, like we usually do, we asked every young person to set a spiritual goal for each day of the event. And on Saturday night, one of our teenagers told us that when he signed up for NCYC, he was really expecting to have fun and sort of the music and all that sort of stuff he was expecting, but he never expected to be so moved by the Holy Spirit. He did not expect this to be just sort of a profound spiritual moment. And he shared with me and he shared with our entire group that at NCYC, he went to confession for the first time since he'd received First Communion years ago. And to me, I can just think of no greater example of success for our events than seeing a young person seek their sacraments. Now, I need your help. Help me pray for this young person in particular, but for all of our young people in general, that they will continue to seek out the Lord often and regularly. I've said this a lot during our events. I compare it to things like Thanksgiving, like we have this week. These events, they like Thanksgiving, they take a ton of time and energy and money to organize, and they're all worth it. It's worth spending the extra time and money to travel to grandma's house on Thanksgiving to see your aunts and uncles and cousins and all your family members. But if we don't eat every day, then we're not going to be able to make it alive to the next holiday. And it's the same way in the spiritual life. Things like NCYC junior high rallies and CYC convention and search retreats and awakenings and all those sort of stuff. They take a ton of time. They take a ton of money and energy, and they're all worth it. But if we are not regularly seeking the Lord, especially in the sacraments on a daily basis, then we just won't survive to the next big feast. And that's where you all come in as youth ministers to help our young people have these incredible mountaintop experiences and then to accompany them on a day-to-day basis in their spiritual life. So I'm so grateful to all of you for saying yes to this work, and I'm just so grateful to work with you as we minister to young people. One big announcement that was made is that there will be an NCYC next year in 2022 in Long Beach, California. This was announced on the last night of NCYC, and of course our young people told me right away that they want to go, and we will be planning a diocesan trip to Long Beach next year because I also want to catch some of the SoCal sunshine next November. So if you're interested in going, I know that these take a lot of time and a lot of resources for parishes and youth ministers to coordinate. And I don't know how many of you are interested in going, but I am more than happy to invite you and to plan the trip. There's not a lot of details out there right now. Basically, we just have the dates and locations. So next November 10th through the 12th in 2022 in Long Beach, California. Please put this sort of in your plans or something to think about for next year as you're starting to calendar for next year. Then as things become available, I'll start contacting parishes to get more of a firm commitment for who's interested in going. That'll happen probably sometime next spring in like March or April. Everything else that I'm working on are things that I've mentioned before, but they're coming up quickly, so I want to encourage you to sign up for them as soon as you can. We've got our March for Life, which is scheduled for January 21st of 2022. The information is at dohyouth.org/marchforlife. Advent Light Fight, those are due December 23rd. Information at dohyouth.org/lightfight. The Youth Ministry Leaders Retreat at Fairmont Hot Springs, I'm really looking forward to this. We're scheduled for January 7th and 8th. The information at dohyouth.org/youth ministry retreat. This is for the adults only. Of course, if you want to bring your spouse and your kids, you can do that, but this is intended as a professional development opportunity for our youth ministers, but we're casting a wide net here, so your title doesn't matter so much as do you work in the church with young people. So if you're a DRE or a coordinator for faith formation, whether you're part-time, full-time, we're casting a wide net here. So if you are interested in learning more about how to accompany young people better in the faith, then join us for this retreat. Again, January 7th to the 8th at Fairmont Hot Springs. I'm also working on our next CYC board meeting, which is scheduled for December 10th through the 12th in Missoula. I will also be packing up my office over the next 2 weeks as the Chancery moves locations. If you haven't heard yet, we're hoping that the Jewish community will become the new owners. Well, The owners, again, of the Chancery building, originally the building was built as a Jewish synagogue, then it was converted to some office space, and the diocese purchased it in the early 1980s. There's a great article out there that was just announced a week or two ago. I'll put a link to that article in the notes. That's it for this week. As always, please pray for me, pray for our bishop, and together we'll all pray for our young people. God bless and happy Thanksgiving.